Yeah.
Okay, welcome back to Peak Speed Lab 164. I'm Strick, and this is the place where gravity and mass meet friction, and the ramp decides who wins, or in some cases, decides the results. Okay, so I know I say okay all the time. Maybe I'll get a shirt that said okay. So anyway, here we go. We did our first run already. The post for the measurement side of that car, the first car, and then the actual runs have been posted by now. And I did an extensive video for both of those because for folks who may be interested down the road, just to kind of see the whole process. So we've got the measurements in one video, then the actual testing, so 20 warm-up runs, we'll call it, and then 10 official laps for the short form drag strip, and then average those 10 laps, figure out if there's like what kind of a variance there is, and how well that these cars perform lap time wise. So that first one was high voltage. Moving forward, what I'll do is we'll kind of go over the cars I'm going to measure. I'm not going to bore you all with sitting here and measuring them while we're on the video, but just to let you know, here's what's coming, and then maybe show you the cars or do an unboxing before the measurement. Then we'll pan to the fastest lap of the batch of cars. That way you'll see, maybe I'll do like 4 or 5 cars at a time. In this case, I'm looking down. I've got 1, 2, 3. These are the other cars that came with. I continue to show this Hot Wheels set. This is the lap extension, I don't know, pack, if you will. There are shorter and longer tracks that have the connectors, but I'm using those to extend some of these tracks that I've been building. And again, not sponsored by anybody, and just doing this out of like the interest of science and physics and for fun, and hopefully other people will find some enjoyment down the road as well. So these cars, as you saw, I've written numbers on them. These are 2, 3, and 4. We've already run car number 1. So I'm going to go through, measure these, and we'll see how close these measurements are to car 1 and to each other, really. And then what the lap times will end up being for the 10 official laps. We'll see if the averages are about the same or not. And with that, I'm going to sign off for a bit, and then we'll be right back with the results. I'll go over the numbers first, and then we'll go over the measurements, and then we'll do some laps. We'll figure it out as we go. And hopefully you'll enjoy the process. If you have any thoughts or suggestions, I'm always open for that as well. And again, if anybody's interested in seeing this database that I've built and that I'm using, feel free to ask. I'll be happy to provide that, and along with all the results. Okay, we'll be back in a bit. Okay, here we go. We've got the first run of the second car we're testing. First of 10 laps. It's already had its 20 warm-ups. And we will see how she fares. The interesting thing is the warm-up lap the warm-up laps had a bigger or larger variance than the first car. But we'll get into that. All right, that's the first one. Final lap of test run number 2. By test run, I mean we're doing 10, average of 10. But this is the number 2 car and is also the number 2. It's the high voltage number 2, but also the number 2 car for testing. So here we go. Lap 10. Then we'll average it all out. 1.75. We'll see what the results are. The The initial, I guess, warm up run was 1.67, anywhere from 1.67 to 1.78. So once we kind of started doing this race, it looked like 174 to 176. So we'll find out what the average is here in a bit. Oh, okay, we got the results after test round 2 of the number 2 car. Again, this is another high voltage we talked about already. That's the number 2 car. As you can see, although it looks backwards, it looks like a 6 on there almost. But it's number 2. So what we have is, again, as I mentioned in one of the videos, and I'm saying this just in case because I might be doing those in fast motion, the 10 laps. The warm-up range was a little wider, 1.67 to 1.78, so a little wider than it was for the first lap of the first car, the high voltage one. The conditions were relatively similar, and after the full 10, I'll say I'm messing with my laptop over here. So after the full 10 runs, after the 20 warm-up runs, we ended up with a little bit slower lap time of 1.753 average. So the range here was actually 1.74 to 1.76. And the first round lap time, if you remember, if you watched the previous video of this, it was 1.746. Average lap time now is 1.753. So a touch slower, but it's just kind of interesting because they're the same make and model car. The measurements were slightly like hundredths of a inch off. Nothing overly major, but there definitely was a little bit of variance between the two cars. Is that the reason for the different time? Maybe. Maybe a little bit with the temperature, maybe, but we essentially ran them the same way. Now here's my concern. So I was thinking about running the other two. Again, I showed you these. We've got 3 and 4, but I think watching the same cars, these 4 cars, we get the gist. It's pretty boring. Let me know. We have a variety of cars that are either out in the open that came with some of these sets and that have also been unboxed. I've got some Real Riders here, some Silver Edition, Hot Wheels Silver. I've got some Elite 64, and then like some specialty cars as I'm looking at the pile of what we got going over here. So, I'm going to decide maybe I'll do something fun for the next one rather than doing 2 more rounds of the same car, which I think can get a little boring for folks out there. In the meantime, I'm going to keep tracking this. We're going to do a little bit more updating. And as I think about which car to go with next, I hope that you'll take some time to subscribe and to give me a thumbs up if you appreciate what I'm bringing. I know it's still early on, but again, I'm trying to build something here, and I'm hoping that you all will have some fun with me on this journey. So again, here we are. This is Strick for Peak Speed Lab 164, where gravity and mass meet friction. The ramp decides not only who wins, but also what the results are. And as we saw, a little slightly different result from car 1 to car 2. Anyway, hope you all have a great one, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.